Hey everybody, Drew here, and on this week's episode of Stuff Churches Should Know, I want to talk to you about introducing the generosity message in summer camp. I know that all of you out there are looking at your summer options, your programming, your outreach, and you're starting to make some decisions in and around what you're going to offer to your young people. You've probably got elementary programs, you've got middle, you've got high school, and you have an amazing opportunity to maybe talk about something a little bit different, or at least a little unsuspecting, if you will, and that's generosity. Summer camp is a wonderful place to capture a young person's attention. So let's look at elementary, for example. I have 3 young boys. My oldest just completed kindergarten, and we're starting to introduce generosity concepts to him. One of the things that he really grips to is the fact that it sets him up to win with God, right? So we explained to him that, generosity is a biblical truth, but when he makes an effort to be generous and to help another person, whether financially or with his gifts, he is setting himself up to have a wonderful relationship with God. I often talk about the adventure of Christianity. I explain to him that the Christian life is a fun life, that it's a rewarding life, that it's an exciting life. And one of the parts of the Christian lifestyle is generosity. It's just something that Christians do. So it's a really practical way to connect the dot on how young elementary age children get to interact directly with God, and that's through demonstrating generosity. Now, this concept can be put in quite a few different biblical stories. You can have a sort of an in-service offering moment, but I think the most important thing is to connect the participation dot with that age. Let them know that being generous is a direct opportunity to interact with God the Father. Looking at middle and high school, you can be a little more advanced than that, right? Like, I'm probably telling you nothing that you don't already know, but I just want to remind you about what those opportunities can and should look like. I talk to pastors all over the country all the time, and one of the things that church leaders are always sifting through is, how do I engage my young people, right? Like, what do I need to be doing, saying, thinking about to get young people to respond to my ministry? Well, summer camp, again, this is a great place to maybe try some different things and see if they work, right? So if you're looking at, your middle and high school audiences, and I think when it comes to generosity, you can pretty much include both of those together. I think that any strategy you apply is applicable to both those audiences. But man, I'm telling you, the one thing that age group is responding the most to, especially in the way of the world right now, is specific outreach effort, right? So if you look at, let's take COVID-19, okay? Maybe some of you are doing community relief for COVID-19. Young people are extremely sensitive to the realities of this pandemic. They know and understand way more than we probably give them credit for. And when you invite them into the generosity effort of maybe helping someone in your community, a group of people in your community with COVID-19, they're going to respond to that. Maybe it's an outreach to help the less fortunate, right? So we start getting involved with dream centers and food pantries and all of those things. I think you need to take a very descriptive approach on how their generosity will meet a very specific need. They will respond to that. Now, here's what's really neat, and here's something that I've been realizing and coming to find as a result of this kind of strategy, is it gives us, the church, it gives us the opportunity to explain that the local need, that the national and global need is best met when the church is leading the charge, right? So rather than the messaging of Red Cross and all these other organizations, those are all good things, and I know you agree with me on that. But sometimes young people, they see the church as sort of like, oh, that money helps, build the building, pay the bills. It helps, with all the different print materials and just the things that run the organization. But they may not realize that the dollars that people give to your church right? They're going to meet those very specific needs. I know if I was looking back when I was a teenager, somebody had walked out, hey, listen, if you were to give this way to this thing, this result would happen. That would speak to me and that would get me more interested in partnering with you in generosity than maybe just, hey, this is what we do in church, right? So all that to say, if you don't have secure gift text giving, or you don't have text giving in general, you need it before you go to summer camp. Okay, this is the cleanest, most straightforward way to do this. You cover exactly what I just talked about, and then at the end, invite people to give. And text giving it's just the easiest. So it will be very practical for that summer camp experience. So to summarize, look at it this way: elementary, we're trying to connect the dot that they get to participate with God. It can be a much broader way of thinking, and invite them, encourage them to say your coins count, right? Like it's the gesture for that audience. For middle and high school, be very intentional to connect a felt need, okay, a very specific thing, and invite them to engage with you and be generous that way. Summer camp is a great place to do this. So if you have any questions about anything I said, if you disagree, you agree, you have any feedback at all, please respond to this email, reach out to us. Our stewardship team also has some really, really specific, great use cases for the type of generosity we're talking about. So we'd love to interact with you. We think the world of you. We wish you the best of the luck this summer. We think everything's going to go awesome. And we look forward to talking to you soon. See ya.